Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Chelsea Largoza. I am a student affairs program assistant. I work currently in San Diego, California. I work at UC San Diego, the University of California, San Diego, at Thurgood Marshall College, which is one of the 6 colleges here at UC San Diego. There are six colleges within the university, and so I work at Thurgood Marshall, which is like the social justice centered college. I graduated in 2012 from UC Berkeley, bachelor's degree, and my major, I was an American Studies major with an emphasis in media culture and consumer behavior, and I was a theater minor with an emphasis in performance and media. And I'll talk about those majors a little later. Okay, so student affairs, which is what I work in, it's, if any of you are part of like ASB, that is essentially what student affairs is. That's kind of the bulk of student affairs. So I describe my job as extracurricular activities without the homework. So we help our students plan small and big events to really engage their fellow classmates, to get involved with their college, and to really stay connected to their college community, to give them a really well-rounded experience at college. So student affairs, we help the students make their experience in college be more than just academics. We like to bring in the social aspects while also giving it educational spins, and yeah, it's a really fun time. Within student affairs, also student conduct, academic integrity are cases that are floated to our office, and so our dean of student affairs will see students who have conduct issues or academic integrity, if maybe they cheated on a test, or stuff like that. So for me personally, I'm a program assistant, and I handle the social media for Thurgood Marshall College. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat all day, every day. And I love it because I really love social media, and I also get to by going to conferences and workshops and taking online classes to really keep up with the trends of social media because it's ever changing. Yeah. Let's see. So when I was 18, my birthday is in May. It's May 1, so it's my birthday month. So when I was 18, I was just finishing up high school. I was kind of feeling like I was on top of the world. I finished, super strong. I had really strong grades, and I was kind of just really the poster child for high school. So I was feeling on top of the world, and then I got to college, and I was a little fish in a giant, massive pond, and I was at the bottom of the scale all over again. And transitioning to college life transitioning from Berkeley to San Diego was a really big culture shock for me because, I mean, those two cities are so different from each other. And I thought that I could have the same, basically I thought that I could do what I did in high school in college, and that was not the case. Like, I wanted to get involved with all the clubs in high school or in college, just like I did in high school, and that really affected my grades. I actually, at the end of my first semester, I ended up not passing 2 of my classes. I took those classes on a pass, no pass basis, which means if you don't pass, it's not an F, so it doesn't affect your GPA, you just kind of don't pass. So, I mean, that was maybe like the one good thing about not passing those classes, or the one silver lining is that it didn't really affect my GPA, thank goodness. So 18 was basically all of my freshman year, and within that, first year of college, I experienced so many new things. And after the first semester, I learned from my mistake, and I scaled back on the things that I wanted to do in college and focused really on the things that I needed to do. So if I was involved with like 4 outside of school things, I limited it to 1 or 2, and I really focused on my grades, and my grades went back up, thankfully. And then I finished my first year of college strong. 18 was a really, really eye-opening year for me. And when I turned 20, 20 was the end of my sophomore year, and the most of my junior year of college. I was 20 was kind of like my adulting year of college. Everyone in Berkeley is like super smart, right? And so out of, in that range of smart people, I was kind of in the middle, more maybe towards the bottom. And so the major that I wanted to major in was called media studies. And it's a capped major, which means that they do not have all the resources to support everyone who wants to be a media studies major. So you have to have like a certain grade from the specific class. You have to have a certain GPA, and if you don't meet those requirements, you appeal. And you show the college, you write like a letter, you give them a resume, and you tell them why you want to be there, why you think you deserve it, and how you're qualified. So I went through that appeals process, and I did not get in. And I was like, what am I gonna do? I don't know what other major is for me. There's nothing else I want to study. So like I was at the end of my sophomore year of college, and I was freaking out, and I thought maybe I'll just be a dentist like my mom because I have a job ready for me. And after I realized that dentistry is really not something I wanted to do, I started to research the other majors on campus, and I found American Studies, which is an interdisciplinary major, which means you essentially get to create your own major, like you create your own focus. So while I was not a media studies major, I was still able to take a few media studies classes, and I also got to take marketing classes and business classes and theater classes. So I really loved the major that I ended up graduating with. And at the end, when you graduate with an interdisciplinary major, you write a 30-page thesis at the end of your senior year, and that was really cool because I got to write it on High School Musical, the movie, with Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens. So it was really cool to be able to write on something that I really loved. I really loved that movie when it came out. So I really, really loved that major. So within my year of being 20, I got my first internship, San Francisco International Asian American Film Festival. So I took the BART twice a week to San Francisco, and I was a publicity intern. And I got to really get to know what the organization was about. It's a world-known film festival featuring Asian American actors and directors and producers. So I got to watch all these films and really see a bunch of different stories from people all over the world. And being a publicity intern, I handled all of the press that the film festival got. So like if people were writing about it on their blogs or in the news, I was keeping track of that. And a lot of really cool opportunities came about because of that internship, because it's really well known. So it's really cool to have that internship. Unfortunately, it was not paid. I actually paid a lot of money for that internship because writing the BART twice a week is kind of expensive. And that's okay, because it was definitely an investment in my future, and it's paid off 1,000-fold since then already. Let's see what else. So 25, when I turned 25, 25 was, oh my gosh, like 2 years ago, 2015. 25 was kind of like my legit adulting year. 25 was a really good year for me. I was at a full-time job. I'd finally gotten a full-time job at the start of 2015. Before then, I had been working part-time. So I was only working Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that's a really cool schedule. I know, to have Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays off. But when you have that kind of schedule for almost 2 years, it gets to be really boring. And I was just like, I need to do more with my life. I need things to do. I need more money. I want to move out. So It was really cool to have a full-time job that I'm at right now. This job, it was really cool to have a full-time job that I love doing and be able to make the money that I needed to do the things that I wanted to do, which was move out and buy a new car. And I did those things. So 25 was a really cool year. I met a lot of cool people in my life that I had never really been surrounded with. So, and I got involved with my church and my young adult group. And so I was surrounded by really amazing people that that really supported me in the things that I wanted to do in my life. So now I'm turning 27 in a few weeks. So now that I'm nearing 30, I still have a few more years till 30. Now that I'm nearing 30, I'm living on my own. I moved out. I bought my own car. I finally did it. And while I'm physically and financially independent from my parents, which is something that I really, really wanted when I was 25, we're still super close. I go home at least once every other week. And my parents really still support everything that I do. I am still thriving at now. I'm constantly getting to go to workshops and seminars and conferences, and I'm getting to do a lot of professional development, which is something that I take the opportunity to do whenever I get it, because there's always more to learn in life. Even after you're done in the classroom, there's always more to learn. So I always grab at any opportunity I can to learn more. Let's see what else. I have recently discovered the world of personal development seminars. So I'm actually going through a leadership academy right now called Operation Project Hope Leadership Academy, where I'm learning about, my personal development, my leadership skills, and how all of those skills will help me in the future. So 27 right now, it's a pretty good year to be Chelsea. I really like where I'm at in life right now, and I'm looking forward to the things that that await me. So student affairs, which is what I work in now, is a profession or is a department I never thought I would end up in, because I didn't know it existed, to be honest. I didn't know it was a thing, and if I had known it was a thing when I was in college, it would have been cool to kind of get involved and do that kind of thing. I was actually kind of just looking for, when I knew it was time to leave my last job, I just kept looking for jobs on the UCSD website because I want to stay here at UC San Diego for as long as I can. It's a really great place to work. And I found this job, and I kept going back to the position. I kept looking at it online, and I figured if I'm looking at it this much, I might as well apply. And so I applied, and here I am now. I'm still here, and I love the people I work with. And this is definitely not the end of the road for me. I have aspirations that I have that I want to eventually, achieve in life. And the thing that I'm doing right now is I would like to be project management certified. It's a PMP certification, and that stands for Project Management Professional. And what it is essentially is a project manager manages projects. So like if there's like this big task that needs to be handled, the project manager oversees everything. The planning, the execution, the implementation, the follow through, the follow up. They oversee everything. And so that's what I'd like to be certified in, and lead me to bigger and better jobs. I really love event planning, and yeah, so like, weddings or big parties, or even, events as big as, like the Super Bowl or the Grammys or the Oscars or Coachella, like big events like that. I like to help create those and make those happen. And so those are the kinds of jobs, that's the career that I aspire to be. And hopefully that's in the near future for me. Let's see, did I miss anything? So, so salaries is something that I like to talk to people about, because at my last job, I got paid, like, I think my salary was like $18.75. It was a great starting, that was like my starting salary. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm fresh out of college and I'm starting at $18.75. That's pretty amazing, because I expected like $15 an hour. So it was 1875, and then I got this job. And something I really struggled with when I was transitioning between my last job and this job is that I was essentially taking a pay cut in terms of hourly salary. And it was also like essentially I took a demotion. And so like while I made 1875 at my last job, I'm making 1868 now. While that's a decrease, it's still a full-time job. So like practically I'm making double what I made there because I'm working full-time here as opposed to working part-time at my last job. The thing that I struggled with was that I was going from like a manager position to like an assistant position. So like that decrease in position is what I really struggled with. And what I realized is that this job is taking me one step closer to where I want to be in life. So it's okay to take, a demotion or to, take a gap year. If you want to relate it back to like post-college plans, if it'll lead you to where you want to go, and that's okay. And what's cool is I'm union represented. And so my union just finished their negotiations with the University of California, and now we get a pay raise. So now I'm making more than I ever have from my last jobs. And that's all thanks to the union. So being union represented is really cool. If you ever get to get the opportunity to be union represented, you're in really good hands because they will fight for you. And fun fact, we also get like a $1,200 signing bonus. So it's kind of cool to be union represented. My very first job, I was 17. It was the summer before my senior year of high school. If any of you are familiar, or if any of you are military families or familiar with, military bases, I was a grocery bagger at the Navy commissary, which is like the military grocery store. So I would every Saturday and Sunday I would bag groceries for people, and I would bring them out bring their carts out and help them load the groceries in their trunks. That was my very first job, and I really liked it. We only worked on tips, so I didn't get any hourly salaries. The amount of money I made every day was always different. It could be like, and so like if we would work with like 2 or 3 people per station. So what we got at the end of our shift, we had to split in 3. So it was never too much, and the amounts were always different every day. It was still a great job though. What I did with that money that I made though, I always saved 15% of everything I got. Even if I got like $50 in one day, I always saved 15% first, and then I used the rest of the money for whatever I wanted, which wasn't much because I like to save my money. So I have some general advice for you all. So for high school, tips for succeeding in high school. I really attribute my acceptance to UC Berkeley to everything I got involved with high school. And so while maybe getting involved with a lot of clubs in college isn't the greatest idea, I do think that getting involved as much as you can and as much as you are able to in high school is a really, really good move for you and for your future college plans. So just to name a few, I was part of the Asian Pacific Islander Club. By my senior year, I was president, and I was the editor-in-chief for my yearbook. I was a cheerleader. I was captain my junior year. I was the vice president for the National Honor Society. I was part of CSF, which is the California Scholarship Federation. Is that right? And I was part of like so many clubs. I was part of ASB. I was treasurer, like executive treasurer my senior year. I was commissioner of publicity the year before that. I was freshman vice president. Turned president because our president left after the second semester. So really getting involved in high school. Colleges really like to see that you're well-rounded. It's not just about academics. There's also, community service and extracurricular activities and sports. So colleges like to see well-rounded students. And so by getting involved in extracurricular activities, you're making yourself one step ahead of those who aren't. Also in high school, have fun, get involved, do the things that you want to do, go to football games, basketball games, cheer on your school, because at the end of the day, when you look back on your high school experience, you're not going to remember the the nights that you studied. You're going to remember all the memories you created with your friends and prom and high school and homecoming, all the fun times. So really take time to enjoy your high school experience. Tips for getting a job. Cater your resume to every job that you apply for. So I have, if I've applied for 50 jobs, I have 50 different resumes currently in my computer. And what I do is I look at the job description, and most job descriptions will ask for like specific qualities and they'll bold it. So if someone asks, if a job description asks for like, we want someone who is fun, energetic, and outgoing. So if the job asks for those 3 things, I specifically put those 3 words in my resume and I show them how I have been those things. So I say like, I'm a fun person, and then I show them how, and I give them my experience that shows that I'm a fun person. So it's good to cater your resume to every single job that you apply for. After your interview, send the person who interviewed you a follow-up thank you email, and reference something specific that you talked about in your interview. So you can say like, dear sir, thank you very much for meeting with me today. I really enjoyed getting to learn about your company. I hope that, should I get this position, we can implement, this strategy that we talked about in our interview. And I mean, of course, name this specific strategy. And that shows your employer that you're really invested in the conversation and that you're really invested in the company and that you really want to have the job. And then, so a lot of job descriptions or job postings will say like needs, 3 years of experience and a master's degree, with umpteen hours of community service. And sometimes like people don't apply because they're like, oh, well, I don't meet the qualifications. And employers will do that to see who will just apply anyway. So if you think you're qualified, even though you may not meet the specific qualifications, just apply, because your employer will see through your resume and your cover letter and through your interview that you really are qualified for the job. So don't let the specifics of the job posting turn you away from applying from a job that you really think that you could be good at. And that went way faster than I think. I think that's it. So if there are any questions, please feel free to ask them now.
Okay, so I have one question up here for you right now, and that is, how did you find the job that you're currently at?
So I work at UC San Diego, and once you're kind of in the system of working at UC San Diego, it's really easy to move around. So my first place to look at for jobs is like the UCSD jobs page. So I just kept searching for something that I thought I was interested in, and when I found it, I just applied.
More questions? Okay, next question. Do you have any regrets with the profession that you chose?
In terms of like, sometimes I feel regret about not like going into like maybe like the medical field or the engineering field or something that I know is, very high paying. Cause like, my mom and all of my best friends are dentists now, and, they're making a lot of money, and I'm like, well, I could have had that opportunity. And at the end of the day, I think about it and I'm like, that's not really what I wanted to do in my life. So no. So I have no regrets about the profession that I'm in currently. I think that everything happens for a reason. So wherever I'm at now is surely meant to happen in my life now, and it'll lead me to something a lot greater in the future.
Thank you. Oh, what was the hardest part about getting to your current position?
The hardest part about, so I guess at my current job, so student affairs, the hardest part about getting here, I suppose I don't really understand the question. Can you explain a little more what you mean, whoever wrote that?
You can just tell me and everything. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, so he wants like a journey question. So, what was the most difficult part of your journey to the profession that you're at right now? That's still
Yeah, like
he wants to know about the journey. Yeah.
what?
He like generally just wants to know about the journey of you getting to where you are.
Oh, okay.
I mean, obviously your career is still going, but
Sure. Okay. I guess logistically, so I started when I moved back from college. I moved back in 2012, and I moved in with my parents. And for like the next like year and a half, I was working some really odd like part-time jobs that I didn't really like, and I needed money, so I did them anyway. And then my mom was of course hounding me to find a better job, and so she was also looking for jobs for me. She would send me like job postings in my email, and she found the job that I applied at. She found the job that I had before this job, which was I was an audience services manager at the music department here at UC San Diego. So once I found that job, I really liked what I was doing in terms of working with students and also doing publicity and promotions and social media. I just knew that I didn't want to stay where I was at for too long because, one, I don't really like working with faculty, and two, it was a part-time job, and I knew that wasn't going to change. And once I really realized that it wasn't going to change and they weren't going to make me full-time, I just started applying or I just started looking every day for different jobs that I could apply for. And then this one specifically called out to me a lot because I really like working with students, and I like planning events, and I like publicity and promotions and being on Instagram and social media every day, all day. So I applied, and I really love it. I hope that answered the question, kind of.
okay. More questions? Maybe your paper. It can be about anything. If you guys just want to say it out loud. Any personal questions? Yeah, totally. That's fine. They want to ask if you're married or have a boyfriend.
No and no.
Apparently, they're asking why not.
It's just not that time in my life for me right now, I guess. One day.
Okay. Next question. Huh? Yeah, any questions? Any questions? You guys write anything? I can just take it. And I can, huh? Anything else you guys want to know? Oh, yeah, yes, let's ask that one. Okay, so did you always know you wanted to go to Berkeley, or?
No, actually, I guess that's something I forgot to mention. I really wanted to go to here. I wanted to go to UCSD because I didn't want to leave San Diego at all. I'm from here and I loved it, and my whole family's here. So I was like, because I was young and naive, and I was like, why leave? Because my whole family's here. And so I didn't get into UC San Diego. And I thought my whole world was turned upside down because I had to leave San Diego, which is the greatest city in the world. And by default, I kind of had to go to UC Berkeley because that's where I got in. I got into UC Berkeley, and it was the best decision, the best thing that ever happened to me because, my whole life changed when I went to Berkeley. So no, I did not know that I always wanted to go to UC Berkeley. I actually applied just to see if I would get in. And then it's history, I guess. So, sorry. So if you get the opportunity to leave to leave your hometown for college, please do it, because it's a really great experience to do college on your own.
Oh, okay. What other colleges did you apply to?
I applied to 7 schools. I applied to SCSU, San Diego State, Long Beach State, Cal State East Bay up in the Bay Area, UC Berkeley, UC San Diego, UCLA, and UC Santa Barbara. And the schools that I got into were all of the state schools I applied to, UC Berkeley and UC Santa Barbara.
Okay, other questions? She mentioned a lot about herself. You're just or extra. Oh, okay, sure. How did you meet Mrs. Self?
Oh, so I met Miss Ellis. I mean, God, like the Berkeley community or the Filipino community at Berkeley is pretty tight knit, and so that's how we met. We also did a lot of, we were part of PCN, which is Filipino Cultural Night, together for a few years. We were both in the choir, right, Maria? Yeah, we were both in choir, and yeah, that's how it happened. Oh, and gospel choir, that was fun.
More than remember anything you're not the questions. You want me to just like read the question on your paper? Or you can just say it out loud. You know, it's a question. Random questions. Random questions is totally fine. I'm gonna ask more about high school or anything else. Yeah, this one's a kind of like any questions? High school? Okay. Okay, sure. What high school did you go to?
I went to Marian Catholic High School. I went to Catholic high school my whole life up until college. My school is called Marian. It was right by the border in Imperial Beach. And then my senior year, our campus moved and we became Mater Dei Catholic High School, which is not to be confused with Mater Dei High School up in, I think it's in the OC. Yeah, that's where I went to high school.
More questions? Just ask them. There's plenty of time left. Guys, if you're not taking advantage of this credit, 2 minutes to do. So all you have to do is just ask simple questions and you get back the answers. Yeah. What was your GPA in Michigan? Okay. For high school or for both? Yeah. Okay. Okay. They want to know your GPA for high school and also for college.
Okay, before I say this, I promise I'm really smart. My GPA in high school, I graduated, I think, with a 4.17. And in college, like I said, everyone's smart at Berkeley, and I'm really smart. I graduated with a 2.9. I could never get up to the 3.0. College was really hard. I still graduated, though, and I have a great job. So GPA is not everything.
Okay. More questions? Sure. Who did you vote for? Who did you vote for?
I did not vote for our current president. How about that?
More questions? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Oh, okay. So you mentioned that you use like Instagram, Snapchat all day. Is that really true? Is it all day for you?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
So are you really on Instagram and Snapchat all day? Is that really true?
Yeah, it kind of is. That's actually really embarrassing to say. Yeah, because when I'm not on it for work, I'm pretty much on it all day for my own personal ones. So yeah.
Oh, okay. What was your favorite subject in high school?
That's hard. I have to think back to my high school classes. The first thing that comes to mind is math because I was actually really good at math. I think I got all the way up to like pre-calc. So like trigonometry and yeah, math. I was really good at math. I never wanted to do it after high school, though I was really good at it.
Okay, solid. Oh, okay, yeah. It's been asked before, don't worry. Okay, so what is the current car that you drive since you mentioned you bought a car?
I have a 2016 Volkswagen Passat, and it is a really cool royal blue. And her name is Kelly Kapowski. Hopefully you guys all know who that is.
Oh, do you miss high school since you were like super involved?
Yeah, I mean, there are days that I miss, like, just like the innocence of high school and like dressing up for homecoming and prom and wearing a corsage, and being a cheerleader is kind of something I miss a lot because they didn't have cheerleaders at UC Berkeley until my senior year of college, and I didn't even know. And so like I went to a pep rally cheerleaders and I was devastated that I didn't get the chance to try out. So yes, yeah, high school was fun. I don't like miss it every day. So when I think about it, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, time for like pick them out. You guys are coming out with really good questions. You're not sure. Yeah. Oh, huh? Oh, you're done. Okay. Yeah. Great. 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 Like high school? Oh, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Thinking of all the school that you went through, what was your favorite grade? Like ninth grade, eighth grade, senior year.
Yeah. My junior year of high school was really fun. I kind of started, I got like a new circle of friends. Like I still had my old friends, of course. I just started hanging out with some new people, and I just had a lot of fun my junior year. I remember that specifically because my homecoming dress was super pretty. It was like this turquoise mermaid dress, and we like went in a limo with all my friends, and it was super cute. Yeah, so junior year of high school was really fun. I was also captain of my cheer squad, so that was fun.
Okay. Any more questions? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. So you mentioned earlier that you like to save that since early on. So do you have a lot of money saved up?
I have, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's like a lot, though every paycheck or every month I save like $100 into my Roth IRA account, and I also save like 5% into my 103B. So yeah, I have a good amount of money saved up from all the years I've been making money and I've been saving. So don't forget to save money. It's really important. Save first, spend later.
So you guys didn't know Roth IRA and 403B around retirement fund. So she puts $100 in. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah. Oh, is there ever a time that you can work from home?
No, I wish. And no, honestly, if I asked to work from home, I probably wouldn't do work anyway because I would be at home. And it's really hard to do work when you're at home. That's like my one rule. I don't take any work home with me. So, no.
Okay. You guys have any other persistent questions? Oh, okay. So what is your favorite part of life outside of
Um, I really like to spend time like with the friends that I have. Like my circle of friends is really small and I love it that way. So, and I don't get to see them all the time. So when I do get to see them, we always have a good time. And like my best friend lives in Arizona right now. So anytime I get to see her is always fun. So spending time with my friends and playing my ukulele.
More questions? Yeah. No? More questions? Follow? Oh, you know what? That's what too. Okay, so what is your favorite music or song?
Um, I like country music. A lot of people don't and give it a chance because it's awesome. Other than that, like I really like to listen to live versions of songs. So like if someone has like, a concert CD, I like to listen to that kind of music. I love acoustic versions of songs. Like Gabe Bondoc is my favorite musician ever. If you guys know who he is, hopefully you do. So yeah, so I really like acoustic music.
Okay, more questions? Huh? Please? Oh, that's it. Okay. Okay. Any more questions? Questions? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So my freshmen are getting ready to take AP. So how many or classes?
Can you repeat that?
Right here. Okay. So my freshmen aren't taking AP right now, but they will. And so, what AP classes did you take in high school?
I I'm actually really proud of this. I took one AP class. I didn't want to take any others. I took AP US Government and I got a 2 on the AP exam. And that just goes to show that you may not always need AP classes to really succeed. So yeah, I took one AP class.
Oh, do you own any pets?
I don't have any pets. My dad actually never let me have a dog when I was younger. We had some birds when I was younger, and they all died. So no pets right now.
Okay. More questions? More questions? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, maybe for content. Okay. What was your favorite TV show?
Gosh, that's super hard. Right now it's Supergirl and The Flash. I'm kind of obsessed with both of those, and Jane the Virgin.
Okay. Then I want to know what your favorite movie is.
Um, oh my gosh, I don't know. The Avengers right now. That's the first one that comes to mind. The Avengers is, yeah, I really love the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay. So was it hard to maintain your GPA because you had cheer and all those other clubs in high school?
Like yes and no. Like in high school, it was still pretty easy for me to keep up my grades while still doing the things I wanted to do. Also, a lot of my GPA were by all of the honors classes I was taking. So like my non-weighted GPA was probably lower. So yeah, I also stayed up a lot of nights doing work, especially like homecoming season was always super busy for cheerleaders and being on ASB. And since I was on both, it was a really busy time. So I was staying up a lot and my parents would get super mad at me. They're like, this needs to stop. And I'm like, don't worry, homecoming is next week. It'll be done. So like, yeah, yes and no. It all depends on your personal balance.
Is there anything else before we Okay, Chelsea. So thank you so much. Are you at work right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it. Okay. So thank you so much for doing this again for my students. But anyway, they have like one big thing to say to you. So 1, 2, 3.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay. So have a great day at work, and I'll see you around. Okay.
Okay, bye.